Hey, Buster. Well, I've put 3 uneven coats on this boat, and I'm still not happy with it, so I went and got more paint today. The first coat is about 5 cans of spray on bed liner with a rattle can. Sprayed it on from a rattle can, and it came out with a nice texture. And then that covered pretty much the whole thing. And then I ended up doing a second coat, which is after the first coat dried, I put on a second coat of rubberized undercoating for the automotive type. So I sprayed the whole thing with that, and that was textured, and it dried pretty quick also. And then I put a third coat on from rust paint from Beauty Tone, which I got locally here from a local hardware store. And I don't like how long it takes to dry. It's still sticky and tacky. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's sticky and tacky. I painted this boat on Saturday, and it's Monday today. Today's Monday, and it's still sticky. Now, the spots where there is no third coat, there's 2 coats here. You can see the textured bed liner and the textured rubberized undercoating. It's not really rubbery, it's nice and hard, but those places are nice and dry and textured. But anywhere where I put the paint on, the rust paint, that's Beauty Tone rust paint, which should be the same thing as Tremclad. It's much more durable than the interior exterior paint, but holy shit, it takes days to dry. So I was really soaking it in at these. There's some cracks in the plywood. Those are like factory cracks in the plywood. I just use regular plywood. So I was just trying to soak it. There's bugs landing on here, and they're getting stuck. They're sticking. Anyway, I really soaked the rust paint in all the cracks and seams, and the first thing I did was all the seams on each side of the strips, these cracks, both sides of these strips, all these seams. I just soaked the paint right in there. And same with the bed liner. I sprayed the bed liner in there real thick in those cracks, and then I sprayed the rubber undercoating in there for a second layer, and then I soaked a bunch of Tremclad rust paint in there, Beauty Tone rust paint. So there's 3 layers soaked into those cracks, and I'm still not happy with it, so I'm going to be putting more. I'm going to be soaking more into it. So today I went to Home Hardware and bought a big 4-liter can of I think it's called barn paint. It's all weather paint made for painting barns, and it was cheap, so just like me, it was cheap, so I bought it. And now I've got 4 liters, should be enough to do the inside and outside. But probably one more coat on the outside would make me happy. I'm using different colors because it's so much easier to tell where you've been and where you haven't been, and if there's any pinholes, it'd be like a different color, you know what I mean? So like those pinholes seem to me like they're black, so I might have to. That tells me that the blue coat didn't soak in exactly and seal up every little pinhole like I wanted it to. So using different colors helps, because you can see where you've been and where you need to be. So So my next coat is going to be white. This barn paint that I got, I'm pretty sure it's white. So I'll be able to tell where I've been and where I need to be just by the colors. And hopefully there's not a huge difference. Like, this is natural blue or medium blue, so hopefully it's not a big difference between the blue and the black, which I'm guessing it will be. After you paint white over there, you might see the black, or the black might show through because it's not primed, or it's like there's a huge contrast in colors there. So I don't know, might take multiple coats on the outside, or who knows. But I just started to run out. I only got a small can of this rust paint, this blue, and I started to run out before I got to finish the strips, so I soaked it into where I needed it, in the screw holes and the seams and stuff like that. Especially the screw holes. There's some screws are on the external and some screws are on the internal. But yeah, right now I think it kind of looks like crap right now, but it looked a lot better when it was all natural wood. Some people seal them up with using fiberglass and urethane and stuff like that, which you can still see the natural wood even after you put fiberglass over it. You still see the wood grain. Personally, I think the wood grain's nice and I like it, but I didn't want to go through buying more fiberglass and whatnot, so I'm just sealing it up with sealing the joints up with silicone and real thick coats of paint. And I've done it before and it works, because this is my second Jon boat, the second boat I've built. And the only thing left to do now is wait for this to dry. I'm really anxious to put the white on, but since it's a different type of paint, you have to wait for it to dry completely, cure completely, whatever. Because you can't put different types of paint like latex and acrylic and oil-based and water-based and whatnot. You can't put them on top of each other when they're not completely cured. So I'm going to have to wait for this to completely cure, which sucks because I painted it on Saturday, which was 2 days ago, and it's still not dry yet. You can see a little bit of gloss in it though, like I can see a reflection of that 2x4 into the paint, even though it's all textured. And the reason why it's textured is because there's spray-on bed liner underneath, which is supposed to be good for durability and whatnot, protection. Plus it's thick, and anything thick like Tremclad or rust paint or the bed liner, spray on undercoating, it's all thick stuff, so it leaves a nice thick coating, which soaks into the cracks and everything good. So anyway, kind of looks like crap right now, but that's where it's at right now. I'm really itching to work on the inside. I'm really itching to work on it, but I can't because it's wet. Or it's not really wet, but it's sticky. I want to flip it over and I want to work on the fishing rod holders. But if I flip it over and if the paint's tacky, it'll stick to the base, or it'll stick to something and it'll screw everything up. So I have to be more patient, and I have to wait for it to dry completely before I can do anything. I can't paint the outside. I want to paint the outside, but I can't. I want to work on the inside, but I can't. All I can do is watch the paint dry. I had moved it inside on Saturday to paint it, so I painted it inside the workshop barn on Saturday because it was raining, so I did that indoors. But I moved the boat outside today because I thought maybe the UV would help. The UV might help, but now it's getting cloudy, so of course, hopefully we'll still get some UV rays. So yeah, I'm just patiently waiting for this project to dry so I can do anything else with it and put it in the water. So I guess if you're waiting, be patient. See you next time.